3. Go.
What's up, fantasy people? This is Tyler, Big Turd Ward, and Jason, the cartoon Uthenwoldt, coming at you live. 2 different times, or two, as I say, 2 different time zones, 2 different states.
But at the same time, 2 different states, but at the same time. I have a huge zit on my nose. I don't want people to see it. I want them to see me as a sweet kitty, as a kitty cat.
I'm sorry, I can't handle this. All right, okay.
All right.
I shouldn't have drank before this.
Me too. This is what I'm all drinking, and I'm like, I got some time to kill. I'm gonna make a kitty cat. A kitty cat. All right. Before we get this thing going, I want everyone to know, if you like this, if you find this funny, please give us a thumbs up. My paws are up right now, but you can't see. If you don't like it, if you're like, this is dumb, do a pause down. Do a pause down. If you want to do a comment, be like, oh my God, you guys are the craziest people. Leave a comment. You know, we do this all the time too. You can also leave a subscription, and you'll see more crazy videos like this. And yeah, that's how we kick things off on a Saturday night.
There you go. Dude, like, I thought I could handle it. I couldn't even do the intro. I was just like,
it's crazy. And I don't know how to get.
I think I would need a couple takes on that. We're one take people.
We're one take people up in here. I wish I knew how to. Oh,
hey, before we start, Jason.
There we go. Yes,
I want to give a shout out to our super kind 27 subscriber. We'll just call him Jackson. That's his first name. And
Joshua Jackson.
Dude, he left an awesome comment.
It was great.
Apparently, we're getting in people's recommendations now. It's amazing. So, and then we got a 28 subscriber on that same day.
That was crazy.
Unknown. Subscriber unknown.
Jackson was right. Was right. Yeah, Tyler, can you see how I'm so high right now off of that dope?
Oh God.
That dopamine high.
Hey man, dude, I was like, I had such a good day today because that Jackson guy. Because I mean, we just do this for ourselves, and to hear that it's actually, people actually enjoy it is like a big deal. So
yeah.
Anyways, that's our shout out to some very important people.
We appreciate you guys.
Yeah, dude, and thanks again to Matt. I mean, he's been commenting a lot. That's awesome. And hey, if you guys want to crack a beer, or if you don't drink, that's fine too. I'm like the only person that drinks in my whole family, so. And I just cracked my teeth on an aluminum rim. So, Jason, did you watch that whole game last night? Because I did.
Oh, I watched the whole thing, and
I was pumped.
It was crazy, right? Woo! Okay. So I think most of planet Earth thought this was going to be a blowout game. Yeah, there was people on the Eagles who did pretty well. Dameon Pierce got his, but I think a lot of people thought that the Eagle players were going to score more points, get more fantasy football points, but something was off, right? The Texans, they were here to play, and makes me feel good that a 70-year-old person who gets paid millions of dollars just to watch football games and talk about it said, we expected a first-round knockout. That's Al Michaels. I'm like, yeah, I think most of the people expected the Eagles just to blow the Texans out of the water from the get-go. No stopping, right? After how we saw the Texans last week. What was that? Halftime? It was 14-14.
So you just made me think of something. I want to say an Al Michaels story real quick. I heard it on the Rich Eisen show. I guess, before some Super Bowl I was talking to him. He brags to everybody that he has never eaten a vegetable in his life. Like apparently he's just never eaten any vegetables or fruit.
Yeah.
And then he said he's 70, and I was like, oh my God, dude, that is crazy. So I could just eat whatever I want, really. It doesn't really matter what I eat. You know, I think I'm all eating healthy. It doesn't
He's
matter.
probably got that $1 million pill that helps him stay alive longer.
Well, yeah, dude, I'm sure. I mean, who knows how many heart surgeries that fool's had?
Yeah. On the off season. Yeah. Do you believe in miracles?
But what I noticed was I mean, everybody was paying, like, we haven't seen that push for the Houston Texans, dude, like on the offensive line was crazy. Only in the first half, though, really. So,
yeah. And just to add to it, you know, like Brandin Cooks, he didn't play.
They didn't need him.
Nick Collins, he didn't play.
They
were down to, like, you know, Philip Dorsett, Chris Moore, and it's just like I felt like the Eagles were just going to kill this team.
But dude, that Dorsett, like he had glue for hands. Like he was a vacuum or whatever they say. And then the other dude, Chris Moore, there was a lot of threads on like 14-man leagues or whatever, like people getting killed. Like if you're in a 14-man league or whatever, some people were starting Chris Moore last night, and you know, he got his, not Chris Moore. Who's the guy that got the touchdown last night? It was Chris Moore, right?
Yeah, he got a touchdown. Yeah.
It's funny because I didn't write it down. I don't even have a pen either. I don't care, dude. There's just nothing but paintbrushes around me. That's funny. I was just gonna reach for my drink. But
I want you to draw me in this and only this.
Hey, dude. But as a Dameon Pierce owner, I was so jacked up because if you give Dameon Pierce a good offensive line, look what he can do. He could get like 90 yards a half, like literally, you know, like, and he didn't get his long runs until like later on. So
he looked great. He looked amazing. He got the ball 27 times. He should
have got that.
I know. And that first drive, the Texans looked unbelievable. I was like, this is where Pierce is going to get his touchdown. And this is what, like, you and I were both saying, is like Pierce is going to have to get his points early on because they're probably going to be playing majority from behind and have to abandon the run. But, you know, they kept it so close.
Dude, but awesome.
I thought that was like Pierce is going to get on the first drive, is going to get this touchdown on the goal line. And no, Mills threw it to, let me try to like say this dude's name
with some Italian accent.
It's a T God. A T God. Quit the narrow. Quit the narrow. Sounds like a topping on the pizza.
He's about to come out with his 10th movie soon. His 10th and final movie.
Yeah. He was a great director in Kill Bill and Reservoir Dogs and all that. And he finally got a catch. He finally got a touchdown catch. But at the time, you're like, what? You're like, who is this guy?
I know. Well, so it was a rookie. It was his first game playing. And I was like, oh, that's great, dude. But like Dameon Pierce led them down the field every single time, man. And when it came down to it, like he was so tired from carrying the team, you know, down the field. He never got any red zone stuff.
Yeah.
You know, that was what was frustrating. Like, so on Reddit last night, like, you know, I was on the game thread, and it was just like the main thing was like Dameon Pierce had the greatest 13.9 fantasy point game of all time, pretty much.
The way he breaks some tackles, he got hit in the chest, dude, and he just like he kept his balance and just kept going. And it was like, this is the stuff that we were talking about since preseason, man.
Oh, dude,
and it's great to like,
yeah. Oh, sorry, and it's great to see it like come to fruition.
Yeah, it really is, and it's like, just imagine if this guy was on a like better offensive
team. Eagles.
Yeah, the Eagles. Speaking of that, though, the Texans are going into the draft next year, and they got like 12 picks.
They had a big graphic about that, like striking oil or whatever.
Yeah, they got like 2 in the first round, 1 in the second round, 2 in the third round, and then, you know, just different picks on there on out. But 2 in the first round, 2 in the third round.
Yeah, well, I was a Davis Mills believer. I love Davis Mills like last year, and listening to his coach and all these pre-draft interviews and everything. I really liked him before the draft. I saw Texans got him, and he performed so well last year. If he was performing like he did last year, they would be maybe at the top of the division, or fighting with Tennessee. But it's just not happening right now.
Yeah,
he sucks. Like I said, he was probably getting like 150 yards and like.
Oh, you called it. That's what he got? 150 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. This guy's had 8 interceptions since week 3 of the season.
Well, there you go. Right, that's like got to be almost leading the NFL.
Yeah,
and I predicted Pierce was not. I thought he was gonna have like 80 yards and he needed a touchdown. I did not think they were gonna keep this so close, and I didn't think they were gonna get that kind of push on the Eagles. I thought the defensive line was a strength of the Eagles, but going forward, I mean, like, dude, that's something to look out for. But at the same time, when they came out in the second half, it was not the same push. So like, I think that they were just like taking it way too easy. I don't think they thought much of the Texans, and they just came out and like kind of half-assed it, and
more like a trap game.
And Dameon Pierce, dude, if you give him a full, they couldn't stop. It was literally 7-8 yards a carry for the first half.
That dude leads the league in tackles or broken tackles.
Missed tackles. And it's, dude, his legs are, you can see his legs are massive.
This guy.
But like I said.
You mentioned that. That's why he's able to cut.
Like people tear MCLs, dude, his legs are made for it. He gets more strength when he cut, like when he goes in bad angles because the way his knees are all inverted.
Davis Mills puts Vaseline on him before every game, so he just like those defenders just slide right off. But you know what? It's like his vision. Oh my gosh, Dameon Pierce has such great vision, and that's like it doesn't matter if you're fast, you're slow, you can't break tackles. If you got vision where you know where to run to, where the holes are, where to cut, you're going to get yards. So this guy has that. Plus, he's a beast and he can break tackles. This guy is a future fantasy football Hall of Famer if they could just get the right people around him.
Well, I'm sure I'll be competing with you next year, but if he stays healthy, I'll draft him in the second round, like a Javonte Williams type,
Oh, yes. He needs to go. He's going to definitely go up. This was the 1 year you could get him late. And
everybody was like, because you and I both believe him. See, and I told him, like, I was like, man, you got to read the room. I know I got him in the 4th round, but you got to read the room. Mm-hmm. And because, if I can read the room and get wide receivers I believed in, which I should not have, Sutton and, all that crap. Who else was it, Jason? Oh, Michael Pittman, but I got him even earlier. Isn't that crazy that, like, Michael Pittman was like a 3rd, 4th round pick?
Yeah, well, he's supposed to be their number 1, but their whole offense, the Colts don't even exist this year. Well, they don't even exist. They're out. They're gone. They're
well. Jonathan Taylor is out again. And I try to trade for him. I try to trade. like Sutton and
Edwards
Jr. for him. Yeah, I'll trade us. What is that? Sutton and Michael Pittman for a bag of balls, man. I don't care. But anyways, back to this game. What I was gonna say was, did you see that excerpt or like that quote in the? They're like, Dameon Pierce, like, what kind of strength training do you do for your lower legs to break tackles and all that stuff? And he's all, you can't teach an ox how to pull a wagon.
Right. Yeah. I did hear that. I was like, bro, I want that guy on my team. That's kind of the energy I need on my fantasy team.
I was so happy last night. Like, literally, he is amazing. Like, he is such an awesome person to have on your team. But I'm thinking about starting a show, maybe like I can't remember what day we don't have a show on, but an episode of who I'm going against. So who's going to score a lot of points. So I'm going against. I went against Dallas Goedert last night, Jason. That was the only person playing against me last night.
And obviously he was one of the dudes that I said play, but I'm pretty sure if you had the Eagles playing last night, you were going to play him either way. Everyone
100 yards, dude. 8 receptions.
Everyone was projecting this game to get 40-10. So you were playing everybody. Let's just say I was wrong because I said Dallas go dirt. Got dirt.
Dirte. You put an E on the end, it makes it sound cool.
Go dirte.
Actually, that's what got dirte. Is that that's a space peanut?
That's a space pita, a big pile of poo. But anyway, like, yeah, I was like thinking around like 6 to 8 targets, and then around 6 to 7 targets, and I believe it was like between 60 and 80 yards, hoping for a touchdown. That dude got a touchdown, and he got 100 yards, and I think he had like 8 receptions.
I'm telling you, dude. I'm breaking all land speed records.
9 targets.
You know, what was really upsetting was to know that I'm gonna have to relive this the next day talking about it too. Like,
I know.
I don't care about fantasy. I mean, I do. I love fantasy. I'm like, but like, I'm trying not to let my life be controlled by my fantasy results. All you can do is put yourself in the best position. That's all you can do.
That's what the therapist Jason says to you all the time.
But dear God, man, like every single time, it's like, can I just get a break?
This is just your year, Tyler. For all fantasy players out there, there's always that one fantasy manager each year that has the most points scored against. And you know who that is in our league? It's Tyler.
No, I've got the highest points scored against me.
That's what I meant. That's what
you said. Lowest.
Bro, I am.
I was like, dude, you don't.
Highest points scored. People go and have their best games against Tyler. So he's that guy this year.
I will literally start an episode of like, who am I going against? Dallas Goedert. CeeDee Lamb. Look for CeeDee Lamb to get 2 touchdowns, 1 50-yarder. You know,
do a web series. It's a little web series.
I'm not even kidding. Like, I could be a future. If I would have listed every single person I went against, I'd be world famous for being right 100% of the time.
It's always got to be
right
somebody.
Now, it's like,
this year it's you.
My correct percentage right now is probably like 12.
The person who was the first overall pick in our league last year was the same thing. She was she had the most points scored against her last year.
Yeah, and you know, if you feel
it's tough.
Oh, yeah, and if you feel discouraged about fantasy, you know, half the fun is like picking people up that you want and starting them and getting points out of them. Who cares if like you know, I mean, losing sucks, but whatever, man. There's still a game to play, and finish the you know, you got to finish the season and keep on trying because it'll make you better. If you're like me and are just getting screwed and you stop right now, you're not going to get any better. If you continue on and learn, like I'm going to learn from all this. I mean, I've already done this.
I need you to look at me when you're talking to me.
Am I not talking to you? Who am I looking at?
You know, all you got to do is play every down like it's your last.
What's that? There's a TV show. They're like, he's looking up and to the left. He's telling the truth. Oh, he was looking up and to the right. That's this part of the brain. He's lying.
I'm like,
so I'm like looking up. I'm like,
what's over there? I want to know what's over there. Tyler is like very fascinated by it.
I was like, for some reason, I was so deep in thought.
I know. I do the same thing.
I was like, man, I was so hyper focused on that, whatever I was talking about. Now I don't remember what I was talking about.
Fantasy football, it is what it is, right? You're going to have your good years. You're going to have your bad years. But it is fun, like picking the players that you want, watching them. After that, it's all out of your control, right? You got to put them in there. And there's so many things that happens in an NFL game. But Thursday night's game is a prime example of it. Like, who would have thought that the Texans would have been involved in that game towards the end? I don't think anybody saw that after what we saw, how they played against the Titans, and now they're going against the undefeated Eagles. It was crazy. They sacked Jalen Hurts like 4 times. And the crazy thing was, they were like, the Eagles they're going on their thing. They're doing their thing. They would just kind of run into a rough patch, 3rd down, sack, how to punt the ball. There was points left on the field because the Texans actually showed up for this game.
Well, if you're a Jalen Hurts owner, you're probably upset with that performance. He had less than 250. He only had 2 touchdowns, and he lost. He had 2 fumbles, one of which he lost.
Yeah, he got 5 points under what he was projected.
Yeah, Dameon Pierce got exactly what he's projected. I hate that.
Well, I mean, Jalen Hurts also got 19 points, and that was like, I wish my quarterbacks could get me that. So
isn't that crazy? So like on a bad game, he had 19 points.
And that's why he's the 4th. He's the 4th quarterback scoring.
Yeah, and did you see that play, dude, where he kept the ball on option play, and that fool didn't even care. That cornerback that came in rushing.
He's like, I'm going to hit Hurts no matter what.
Yeah, and no matter what. He didn't see. All he thought was, I'm going to take Jalen Hurts out.
Yeah. He's like, that's in my head. Because I don't care if he hands it off. I'm hitting Jalen Hurts.
That was awesome. I thought that was super cool.
I told people to also start Devontae Smith because I feel like he's been one of like a really damn dude. That dog got some claws. How'd he get up on there, man? He's like climbing the walls and stuff.
There's some weird stuff going on.
I said to play Devontae Smith because in your flex at least because this guy's been averaging at least 10 points a game. And, he's been getting the targets and stuff like that. This is one of those games. He didn't get him. He actually, I feel like Q Watson was he stole a couple of Quez Watson stole a couple of those receptions from him. Would have helped with the points for Devontae Smith. And I mean, it got to a point where it was just like late in the game. The Eagles, every time they were going a little bit of a run, they were really focused on the running. I was hoping that like you would see those bigger passing plays like in the beginning or during the blowout, but some of those drives, the Texans defense decided to show up and was able to get them to punt, which was a lot of things that there was one thing that like people didn't even expect.
The spirit of JJ Watt was with the Texans last night. He's all, hey, we're some bad mother effers. Outside of the field, we're some good people. We're some good dudes. Have you ever heard that speech?
Yeah. And you know what? We give money to charity when there's
we're some good ass dudes. That's what they said. We're some good ass dudes.
Hey man, you a good ass dude, bro. You a good ass dude.
I have to listen to the Jim Rome show sometimes because it's the only thing that's on, and he plays that quote so much. He's like, "We're some good ass dudes."
Oh, I hate that guy.
He's like, I had to work on 15 years for getting my voice low and cool sounding, so people will listen to me. Jim Rome in the jungle, but he does have some. He likes. Anyways, he always makes me hungry for Mexican food because he always pushes his damn Mexican food place.
You should watch the clip where he almost got beat up by like a backup quarterback.
Yeah, I know. He got these like. So call me that one more time,
Chris, or whatever.
Chris. But like,
I'm like Jim Rowe, dude. You little punk, man. Like you're fucking 5'11", 4'11", whatever.
You know what I was saying? I was all like driving by myself in the woods, and Adam Schefter's report came on or whatever, and I was like, you locked me in a room with Adam Schefter. You need DNA to figure it out what who he was.
Next on CSI, sports analyst killed, or was he?
Charles Barkley was talking about Skip Bayless once, and he was like, you put me in a room with Skip Bayless, and you're going to need DNA.
Well, if he said he was putting himself in a room with Skip Bayless, I mean, I figured everyone would know Skip Bayless.
Dude, Skip, yeah.
Okay.
Like, hey, Skip Bayless would put it on this timeline. I'd be like, I'm going to go see Charles Barkley. We're best friends. We're best friends. We play tennis together on the weekends.
I want to put it on my Twitter account. Who did Charles Barkley leave the room with? No one.
But so listening to what the public says about this game, Jason, everybody was upset about owning. I mean, AJ Brown got his touchdown, but it was all Goddard. It was all Goddard, and they were like, he's not looking at anybody's way except Goddard, and that's how I felt because I was going against Goddard.
He also had some plays where it was designed for Goddard, so he even has his own set of plays in there.
He's a really good tight end. I tried to trade for him earlier, but your sister is unwilling to trade.
You even called it earlier this year that Goddard was going to be one of the tight ends that you would want to get. I think in the first half when they were putting the pressure on Jalen Hurts, I think one of the first positions a quarterback is like thinking of or looking at when they're going to pressure on him is a tight end. And I think that kind of like played out. Plus, you know, every time he got a reception, he got an additional yardage because he's just a beast. He's a beast. God dirty.
That dirty. Did your hair grow in like that, Jason? He's all, no, that's just. He's all, no, I wore when I was born without a scalp, and my dad put a wig on me, and it fused to my scalp.
I just remember Joe Dirt too was so horrible. God.
See, you're telling me Joe Dirt 2 right now. I did not know that existed.
I think about that every night before you go to bed. How bad that movie is.
What?
I'm just like,
you need to get your priorities straight, man.
That movie's horrible.
God damn it!
God damn it!
I can't sleep.
They need a sequel to fix this. God damn
it. Dude.
Miles Sanders, right? I was talking about how if he could get 10 plus carries in the game, he's going to do well. I'm very surprised that guy didn't get over 100 yards, but he had 17 carries, 93 yards, and 1 touchdown. He had 0 receptions though. I believe that's around 15 points that he got. I mean, I would like that from my running back.
He was the start of the week for the fantasy footballers. So
of course, going against the worst defense worst rushing defense in the league, I would definitely think he would be probably ranked number 1. Kenneth Gainwell, I do believe, stole a touchdown from him. It was one of those plays where I think it was like 3rd, maybe 2nd down, and they were probably like around the 10-yard line, and they just put him in there. He's usually in for passing plays. Gave him the bunt. They gave him the ball as a little trickaroo, catch the defense off guard, and he ended up making most of it and got a touchdown.
Jason, who's the best Kenneth in the league?
Walker.
Who's the second best?
Gainwell.
Who's the third best?
Why are you asking me these questions? Hold on, I need some juice to think about it.
That's it. I was like, when I was writing it down, I was like, because I forgot to print out my stats. I had to write it all by hand, and I was like, Kenneth Gainwell. I was like, he's the second best Kenneth in the league.
Yeah, he's the second best. But I probably wouldn't put him on your team though.
Going forward, I tried to trade for Sanders earlier because their schedule is just ridiculous. If you can still trade for Sanders, do it, especially after the trade deadline. Because I was taking a risk trying to trade for him before the trade deadline because there were so many reports about them trying to get Kamara, Antonio Gibson, all this stuff. So I would trade for Sanders. I wouldn't worry about Gainwell. Even they average the same yards per carry. And Gainwell, I've always heard that Gainwell was the more talented runner, but when you see him, he is small. Miles Sanders is small too.
The good thing about people who own Miles Sanders this year is so far he hasn't injured himself and missed some time.
Yeah, I know. There's so many running backs that are usually injured that haven't, like Mostert, Dalvin Cook. Well, Dalvin Cook hurt his arm one game.
Mostert was definitely one of the guys where in the beginning of the year I said like he's a pretty good running back, but he gets hurt. He gets hurt every year.
Well, Jeff Wilson Jr. is now the backup that you want there. So,
we still got some time. He might get hurt.
And then AJ Brown owners are happy. If you want to trade for AJ Brown, dude, like you have a 50% chance at a touchdown every single game. So you can try to trade for him if somebody was willing to give him up. I doubt it after 3-1. And then Devontae Smith. I would love to start Devonta Smith every week. So
as a flex, I would not start that guy as a number 2.
Almost. I mean, I don't know if I wouldn't because man, he was killing it before this. But
he's had 2 bad weeks. But like I said, Watkins he stole 2 of the receptions from him and kind of like dropped. I think I went up against him and he only got like 3 points. And that's half point PPR.
Yeah. And then if you have Goddard, Jason, you're not getting rid of him at all.
Yeah, you're keeping that guy. You're definitely keeping him. He's one of the few that he's probably untradeable.
Myself today
To see
if I
can
could feel.
I hurt myself
on
today.
the pain. Sorry.
To see
pain.
Right.
All right. No, that's I was thinking the
Johnny
Jimmy World
Cash.
song. No, the Jimmy World. I was going to transfer right into the pain. Jimmy Eat World, dude.
Oh.
Hey, hopefully we can link all the audiences. We're the segue from the 20-year-olds to the 40-year-olds and the 50-year-olds.
And 50. Yeah, we're like almost 40, but we got the heart and we got the testosterone of a 20-year-old. I mean, my wife tells me that, but I think she's being nice. Yeah, the testosterone of a 20-year-old. I'm like, hell yeah, give me a burger. I'm going to cancel my doctor's appointment for next week.
You're probably going to try to get laid all the time, and that's how she tells you no.
You're too much. You're too much.
Once you get married.
I got all this poison inside of me. I need to release.
I'm having, what is it, poisoning? I'm having something poisoning. That's off of a movie.
Rat poison.
This is a family show, but that is off of a movie.
It's a family show, but no under 17 allowed. We have to put that in the YouTube. So,
well, we're all drinking beer. You'd think that people would not. I don't think they're going to let their kids. Oh, who cares? I'm
not even drinking this. This is empty. I just act like it and I spit it back in. I
mean, we're trying to have kids right now, and if I have kids, guess what? They're going to see me drink beer all the time.
And then if they drink beer, I'll be like, no, stop it. You're grounded.
I'll be like my dad. I'll be like my dad and be like, Tyler, just be careful. And then I throw up all over his car like vodka. And then he's like, Tyler, wash my truck.
Wash my truck. And my dad's all giving me rides there and peeling out when he's leaving.
Your dad's like, hey, Dad, I'm not gonna even. I can't. Yeah, good stuff though. Good stuff.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say it, but good stuff. I would. My dad would give me ride the parties, and Tyler would have to take me home, and my dad would just like drop me off, and then he would peel out in his 1991 Toyota Tacoma, leaving a little skid mark on the street.
And I'd be outside of my truck. So.
Hey, Steven! I didn't know you showed up. Steven!
Don't worry about me. I'm just driving your kid home.
Oh, my. I'm just driving your Jason, son of Steven.
At least I would stop after like 4 beers at least.
I got a question for you. Would you put Chris Moore on your fantasy list? Would you think about picking him up?
So I want to talk about this. Oh man, my side. So with Green Bay not picking up anybody, Chris Moore. Well, Brandin Cooks is coming back, so you don't really care about that because Philip Dorsett looked better than Chris Moore. But there is this guy who did that double move and a touchdown with Aaron Rodgers, like Tourette or something.
Yeah, Torre.
If you're really desperate,
or Yore, something like that. Yeah.
He was talking about him on the Pat McAfee show, and I think they're going to try to get him more involved. So, he does the type of even Chris Collinsworth called it out on the show, on live, live, whatever. He's like, oh, Aaron Rodgers has been waiting for this, somebody that will do the double move and go somewhere that they're open on a broken play. So, like for Matt, like Matt in a 16-man league or some crazy SH, like somebody like that, you might just want to pick up and see how it's being used. So
think about that.
Man,
think about that. I think I'm pretty much done. Are you done?
I want to talk about how much time do we have left on this stream?
2 minutes and 30 seconds.
So anyways, man, this was so much easier than last time. I guess we only had 15 minutes last time, and then we got forced to make another video. But let's see. What do I want to say, Jason? Oh, I do want to talk about, we need 50 subscribers to live stream on my mobile. So I hate asking for subscribers. It's stupid. And like, I've watched YouTube my whole life. You know how much crap I've subscribed to? Like 10 things. So I know it's a lot to subscribe to something, to ask somebody to subscribe to something that sucks. But hey, if you want to help us out, it'd be great to subscribe. And liking is just great too, I mean, everything is awesome for us, but we're trying to live stream this stuff, and I'm going to try to buy a laptop like soon. I'm going to go to Best Buy. What do you just think it's so funny? I don't have computers.
No, we could do a drinking game for every time Tyler says, I want to get a laptop.
Well, dude, it'd be easier if I was poor, Jason. I'm poor, dude.
You said
like do I want to eat today? Or I want a laptop, Jason?
You need top ramen for the next 2 weeks, dude. You gotta tough it out. The fans want it. They want it. They want the live stream.
Whoa.
Don't be doing that. Watch this.
You look.
Oh, fuck. Oh my god. That's crazy. That was probably the craziest can smash I've ever done.
Remember? Oh, you weren't there. Justin Reyes.
Yeah.
He's
I
like,
there.
Oh yeah, come to my house.
Bleeding from the forehead.
Smashing cans.
All right. All fun. We gotta go. We're working on the live stream. We need 50 subscribers so we can do it mobile. If you enjoyed this as much as we did, show the appreciation and like it. If you hated it, that's okay too. We're understanding people. You can dislike it. We got some fans out there that like to leave comments. Continue to do that. We love going out there and being like, hey, bam, this is what you should do. Listen to this. I feel like a rapper.
It's so much easier giving advice to other people than yourself.
Yeah. And if you get subscribed too, that'd be great, because we got to get to 50. 50 is the mark, so we could do